So where do we go from here? When can I get together again with my church family to share fellowship and enjoy time together at Northlake? Well, those are the kinds of questions people have begun to ask, or at least begun to think, as you draw near to the end of April, which was initially determined to be a time when leaders would begin to ease restrictions. And in fact, they have begun discussing multi-phase approaches to opening the economy back up. And churches, while not just impacted economically, have been impacted economically. But it's also the connection where we have been at loss. And we're anxious, obviously, for that period to come to an end. As we move forward with what is next, I want to assure you that your staff is working together very intentionally and carefully to evaluate what is the best approach as we begin to look at having services on site again here at church. But this is not something that we're going to rush into blindly just because a door has begun to open a crack. We're not going to push in too quickly. We want to make sure that the guidelines are placed, that they're clear, that they are safe. We don't want a piecemeal approach where we're having multiple services of 50 people or so and having to do it 3 or 4 times a day. So most likely we will wait until 200 or 250 are allowed legally and safely to meet together again before we look at having services here. If we move too quickly, we could unintentionally create some consequences that endanger safety, and we don't want to obviously take that road. Keep in mind, our goal is not to be first. Our goal is to do what is best for our congregation, our context, and that is rarely something that happens fast. Most likely what's going to happen is that we will have kind of an overlap where we continue to have online services even as we begin our on-site services again. Just for those who are in the high-risk category or just not comfortable gathering, we will continue to have that opportunity there. But any firm decisions about the future really can't be made until we have all the information about what the guidelines and expectations are going to be. So please grant us your patience as well as your prayers. Meanwhile, I want to assure you that the building is being prepared for your return, even though we don't have a specific timeline yet. We have not done any furloughs among our staff, so the custodians have been working hard to thoroughly disinfect and clean the building, all the doorknobs and handles and bathrooms and chairs, shampooed the carpets, we've deep cleaned various areas, wiped things down so that we can have things help you feel as comfortable as possible, that there's not contamination anywhere. And let me remind you that while we are taking those steps, there has been no case of anyone who is a member or a guest at Northlake who has been diagnosed with this condition. So things are going to be as safe as they can possibly be here among us. Until we get to the point where we are able to meet on site again, please continue to meet online with a Sunday school class through Zoom, whether it's your class or a meeting with a general group, and continue to worship with us each week through our service on YouTube or Facebook. And if you have problems with either of those avenues of technology, please let us know, because we want to help you stay connected with the church body. And then finally, let me just share our gratitude again as a staff for your faithfulness in giving. You have allowed us to not have to consider any kind of furloughs for our staff, but that does require us to continue moving forward with that sacrificial mindset and spirit. So please partner with us. Remember, we've just begun our new budget year. April 1st is the 2020-21 budget year. The first one we voted online to adopt, but now we have to work together to bring those plans to fruition. Folks, I am not enjoying this valley any more than you are. Trust me. But I know by faith that God often does His best work in the valleys of life. Psalm 23 verse 4, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you are with me. So let's remember while we're here who is with us. And the great things are coming, whatever that looks like and whenever it may be. We are going to make plans intentionally and let you know as those are more specific and concrete. But please continue to partner with us and work together to build what comes next at Northlake.